Hey, what's up, everybody? If you are around, hang out with me for a few minutes and let's talk about what I've experienced myself and what I'm sure many people have experienced is the fear of being truly you. And so, what I want to share with you is, are you willing to allow people to see the true you? And then, in that, recognizing the power of unapologetic self expression, which is something I'm super passionate about because that power of being who you truly are with everyone, everywhere, all the time, no matter what, is such a gift to the world. And that's what the world desperately needs. So come on and join me and get some googe in your face. So where this is coming from is the work that I've been doing my whole life and wanting to share with the world in a bigger way is this power of really truly connecting to your truth, to your power, to who you truly are when no one is looking, and when you have released all the demons, released all the fears, released all the pressure you feel to be something that you're not and to follow a path that isn't your path and come back to what is truly you. So think about, for you, do you feel like you have followed a path that isn't your path, that you were sold a bill of goods that left you feeling empty? So perhaps you thought, oh, I have to get an education, then I have to get married, then I have to have kids, and then I have to get a big house, and then I have to get a car, and then I have to send my kids to private school. And then you find yourself looking around and like, this is not the life that I want. And it's not what I thought it was going to be. And I don't even know who I am. And I don't even know what I really want anymore. And so having that knowledge of recognizing this is not the life that I want, and I'm not really even sure who I am, is actually a good place to be, because it's allowing you to open up to coming back to you and doing the work to uncover what you truly desire, and then taking the steps to make that happen. So I want to share, so for me, how this has manifested in my life, excuse me, has been initially, excuse me, being unapologetically me, apparently messing with my throat chakra. So as an adolescent and going into my 20s and 30s, I was so caught up with like image and body and exercise, and really where that was coming from was this deep fear of not being good enough, thin enough, pretty enough, which was rooted in this belief that my value came from men, that I was only valuable if I was desirable and pretty and sexy, and that if a man wanted to be with me, which of course is not true, but it led me on this crazy path of, dealing with eating disorders for many years, which now I can say that I'm grateful for, because that led me down to pursue the path of psychology for my undergrad and to do the work to get healing around my body and issues of self-worth and self-esteem, and to really get into right relationship with myself so that I could open myself to a right relationship with a man where we're equals and we're bringing amazing things to the table and wanting to continue to grow and evolve as a couple, versus feeling like I have to always be a certain way and say a certain thing and do a certain thing in order for this person to love me, which of course is not true. But a lot of times, especially for women, we go down this path of thinking validation comes from men. Where this has also impacted my life has been around career. So a lot of my 20s and 30s was spent in the state of confusion of, what do I really want to do and what am I here for? And is it safe to do what I want to do? Because a lot of messages I was getting was I needed to follow a certain path, and that path had to be a path that was respectable, quote unquote, and made money and was, quote unquote, again, safe and secure, whatever that is. And so I always felt this pressure of, I'm not allowing myself to really explore what I'm passionate about, because I'm not sure it's safe for me, nor is it socially acceptable. And so I kept myself hidden in a box of not myself hidden, kept my desires hidden, because it wasn't safe to let those desires come out. And then when I finally got clear, like, I am on this path, I've been on the path of self-growth and development my entire life, and developed, professional development community in my previous career, and allowed myself to step into the space of being a coach, and knew from the beginning my desire was really to help people connect to their true selves. And my original name for my business was Core Connection Coaching, and that was all I wanted to do, was because I knew from my own experience of overcoming eating disorders and body shame and having really dysfunctional relationships with men, I knew what solved those for me was coming into complete deep connection with myself and really getting right with myself. And so I knew that was the path. But once I started getting into the coaching world, I got taken off my path. I was put on a detour. I chose to go on a detour because I didn't feel it was safe. That wasn't a safe sort of path to follow. I had to follow the path of all the other coaches who were doing all these things around making money and all of the stuff that wasn't actually true to me, because I felt, well, if you're true to yourself and connected to yourself and clear about who you are and what you desire and what that life looks like, and clear out all the fears around not being able to do that and pursue that, and all of the fears around being rejected and ashamed and embarrassed, then the money will come. But I went down that path and disconnected from myself and found myself so far away from where I originally wanted to be in my coaching business, and wasn't embarrassed and ashamed that I'm doing this thing that really isn't me, but I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so it really created a lot of distrust in myself, which kept me off my path, which kept me in a place of being embarrassed and ashamed and not getting right on the path that I'm supposed to be on, the path that is right for me, and the path that allows me to speak my truth unapologetically without fear of rejection, and knowing that my security comes from me, not from anything outside of me. But for a long time, I stayed quiet and I stayed on the wrong path for a long time because I had the story of, well, I've invested so much and I've been on this path so long, and this is what it takes, and this is what I have to do. And also, of course, I mentioned, just being afraid to change and being afraid to come out as what I really am and what I really want to help people with. And finally came to the realization, why am I hiding? Why am I hiding who I really am? And why am I hiding what I really want to help people with? And what's the worst that can happen? Probably not worse than what I've already been through. So being willing to take that risk and put myself out there as the true me, as the me that wants to be helping people connect with themselves on a deeper level, and in that work, knowing everything in their life will come into right alignment with what is true for them, their relationships, their health, their body, their money, their career, business, everything. And so I realized that I had to come out and speak this truth, because people, especially I feel like now, we're tired of seeing the perfect picture of everyone. You've known what you're going to do and you're doing it, and it all worked out and it was easy and it's perfect and life is beautiful. That doesn't really inspire me. What inspires me is seeing the people that are in the thick of it, getting kicked and beaten, and coming back up and asking, what am I learning from this? And how can I transform this? And what's next? And how is this actually working for me? And how is this making me a better person? And how is this actually perfect and exactly what I needed, because it's helping me become the person I'm meant to be? And that's what I realized about my path. Instead of being embarrassed of being off on the wrong path for so long, it's owning it, honoring it, and seeing that it was actually perfect for me, because it led me to do the work to uncover all the demons around addiction to acceptance and approval and validation and security from outside of me, so that I could clear that out and see that it all came from within and will always come from within. I want to do the work to continue to build that resilience and that strength and that belief and that trust in myself. Everything else just falls into place perfectly as it's meant to. So owning your path and owning your story and letting people hear that story, letting people see the story where you are falling off the horse, but you're getting right back up and riding again, and you're actually now going to go down a different way or ride a different horse, but not hiding that part of the story, because that's the part of the story that we want to hear. We want to hear the guts and the determination before we hear the glory, and we want to be with you in the guts and the determination so that we can celebrate your glory with you. We don't want to just see the glory. So if you are in a place where you feel like you've gone down the wrong path and you're not even sure who you are, and you thought this was who you're supposed to be, but it kind of leaves you feeling empty and disconnected and kind of doubting yourself and not trusting yourself, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you more about what getting on the right path for you looks like, and really the power of being unapologetically you and speaking your unapologetic truth and letting the world see the mess and the beauty in the mess and the glory in the guts and the dirt and all of that, because that's part of the beauty, honestly. So that's my coming out story. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will put a link below to connect with me if you're interested in talking more about what this looks like for you and how this really can impact your life and help you start to live the life that you truly desire of prosperity and freedom and joy, and most importantly, unapologetic self-expression, because that's what the world needs. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all soon.